Now we've got the floor in place, I'm going to bring in some HDRI lighting. As you can see, it's very dark in rendered view, so I'm going to use an HDRI system I got from another course I did, which was on 3D Tutor. So I always recommend referencing where you get things from. So I'll go to File, Append, and it's in my Elements folder, 3.0. I've been doing Blender since 2.9, so I could have a lot of files in here. I know it's in that one, HDRI, there we are. Append, and the one I want is World, the pink one. Now, if I go to the little world icon, which for some reason has got a line through it, and I click on HDRI setup and it'll go pink. That's because there's no texture on it. So now I'll go into shading, click on object, where is it, world, and that is the HDRI setup I've just brought in. Now I'll do it again. I'll open that. I need to go find that file again, which is on my folder, 3.0, down to, I think that one's it. Yeah, that's it. HDRI. And now I'm looking for, I think I'm looking for that one, Sunny Day. If I bring that in, and I go to back to my layout where I was, you can see now it's made it all nice and bright. If I press F12 on the keyboard and render it, that's what we've got. You can make HDRIs yourself if you've got the proper camera set up, but basically it's using all the light from the sky, the photograph, to light the scene. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set the rest of this up. If I come up to the top here, little television, you've got two, you've got Eevee and you've got Cycles. Cycles is a real time render. It's well, it uses real lighting, but it puts all the shadowing in, but it does take longer to render. So at the minute I'll just show you in Eevee first. I put ambient occlusion on. That uses all the lighting between the little cracks and that, the fine lighting. I'll turn on screen space reflections, turn off half res, put full res on. Let's have a look. And if you can see down here around the rim of the tyres, that's what ambient occlusion does. It brings out those little tiny shadows. But I think I'm going to render out in Cycles. So click on that, Cycles, Supported, Experimental, and GPU, and I'll use my GPU to do this, and I have a RTX 3070 on this one. And if I press F12, that's a lot better render. You can see the shadows now under the car and under the back. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get in a good position now. If I come to my lighting, I've got a sun in there somewhere, I think. Right, let's go to 1. We'll grab that sun on the Z, take it up, grab it on the X, and I can save it because it's putting a lot of strain on it at the minute. You've got the 3070 can handle it, but it's blended, it sometimes crashes, so you've got to be careful with it. I'm going to do a rotate Y, bring it that way, and rotate Z. The sun, it's an infinite light source. Basically it will light everything up no matter where it is. It's all down to how you rotate it with the sun. So if I grab that on the X, stick it over here out of the way a bit, and I'll just rotate it on the Y a bit more. If I do F12 now to render, You can't see much at the minute because I've got the HDRI too high. I need to turn that down a little. So if I come down to my world and turn the strength of my HDRI down to something like 5, render again, you can see the shadows forming on this side of the car just a little bit. Oh, that it's me what's seeing things. So I'm going to change the view of that. No, I won't. Let's have another look. I'll render it out in different positions. So what I'll do is I think I'll put another light in from the front. I'll put a light and I'll bring in a area light. Grab that on the Z, bring it up. Let's go to the side view, grab it on the X, grab it on the Y, rotate on the X. I'll put a light at the back. I'll come down to the little light bulb because they're only a 10-watt bulb and I've seen brighter matches, so I'll give that something like an 80-watt bulb. I think that's 80, yeah. I'll do a F12 and you can see the lights coming in from the back, so that should push the shadows to the front. But I think that HDRI is still a bit too bright, so I'm going to drop that down another 2 points. There we go, the shadows are coming in better now. So I think what I'll do is I'll wait for it to render out from this image, from the back, and then I'll rotate it and do another render from the other side. So I don't know how long it's going to take. Hang on, it should tell me up here. 23 seconds it's taken up to now, 25. And I've just thought something stopped that. Let me check my render settings. Make sure my denoise is on. And it's not. Denoise will take out, it renders it, takes out, and then it'll render it again and take all the speckles out. So I'll come up here to wireframe, put it into wireframe and now render it, because if it's rendering out in normal view, it's rendering out twice essentially, once for the monitor and once for the print. So by taking it into wireframe, it's only rendering it out for the final render for the image you see on here. And I'm going to leave it now. I'm going to turn the video off and leave it rendering, and I'll say thank you for watching, and I'll show you the outcome of this when I post it. So thank you for watching, and thank you for being patient with someone with bad eyesight.